Good morning, Arizona high school football community. It is my favorite time of the week. Time for the My Recruits Report with the very own Coach Perrone and the man, the myth, the legend, Varsity Sports Show's only one and only Vince DeLisio. Vince, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I am fantastic. We had a great week of football last week. A great Thursday night football game with Campo Verde doing their thing. But let's talk about Friday night's action. I mean, great schedule. You and I have looked at it. We've gone over some things, and we want to just talk about a few teams, talk about a few coaches, talk about a few players, and give the people what they want. Sound good?
Sounds great. You ready to go?
Let's kick it off, man.
All right, here we go. So our first matchup, ALA Gilbert North at Sabino.
Wow. If you want to talk about a team that's firing on all cylinders, ALA Gilbert is there. I mean, Coach Reisdorf cannot keep his starters in for more than a half of football. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, 60 in two games they've beaten their two opponents 129-0.
Wow.
There is the offensive output over there is unbelievable. Quarterback Adam DeMonte, one of the best 2023 quarterbacks in the country. They've got a young wide receiver in Brandon Phelps, sophomore, who currently has a University of Arizona and I believe an NAU offer as well. They're deep at receiver. They're just deep overall. Johnny Bellino, I think, 2022 young man who's one of the best kept secrets. He currently has some good D2 offers, but I think Johnny has 2 or 3 touchdowns and 100 and something yards in his 1 2 quarters of play. Braden Belanger is another young man who's a stud over there. And they've got, this is going to be tough to see this team not there, at the very end. On the Sabino side of the ball, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, honestly, don't know a lot about Sabino right now, and that's unfortunate because there's a lot of good football that comes out of Tucson. So I think this is going to be a really good matchup. And getting back to Coach Reisdorf, we had a chance to see that state championship game. We broadcasted that game against Snowflake last year, and we knew in talking to him post game, they had narrowly lost that game. Talking to him, he was going to be back, and he's back in a big way. Granted, it's early in the season, but this guy can put some teams together. So excited to see what Sabino brings.
I know their quarterback had a heck of a game last week. Cameron Hackworth, 41-7. They beat Catalina Foothills.
Wow.
18 for 23, 245, 3 touchdowns. Well-coached team. Game 1, I believe they played Arizona College Prep. They beat them 28-6. I mean, you got, battle of 2 really good 2-0 teams. I think ALA Gilbert just brings too much to the table. Yeah. I think DeMonte is on right now, and the Bellino, Bellinger, Phelps, they got some good depth off the bench with Austin. He's another 2023. Izzy Dorzik, and they got a great young man on junior varsity, and Mateo Carrera, whose brother is on Campo Verde. So, we just got so many great athletes, but ALA Gilbert, power packed, gonna bring it. I got them in this one in a landslide. Next.
Okay, let's go to 6A now. Pinnacle at Highland.
You started off. Let me know what you think here.
Well, Pinnacle is been known as quarterback U for the high schools here in the Valley, and they're they're tough. They coach Dana Zucchi, but on the other side of the ball, you got a state championship finalist that they're facing in Highland. So this one's going to be too close to call for me.
I'll tell you. So an amazing game last week by Pinnacle. Coach Bob Correa was there for us, and he said it was just right down to the wire. Zach Wren, Pinnacle quarterback, amazing job in his first start. I mean, of not only of the season but of his career. There's so many young men over there that are getting it done. But this is a Zach Wren team. They're 0-1. Dana Zupke and that coaching staff, they don't have an easy schedule here. I mean, this is a tough one. Highland, I believe, has a lot of what you need to get back to that championship game. I think they are extremely, extremely athletic. They have a 2022 defensive back / wide receiver guy in Kyle Wright. And Kai Hano is a transfer that currently can't play, but boy, when he does, they better be ready. And I have to say this, Jace Patton for the Highland Hawks is the best tight end, I think, in the state of Arizona.
Wow, high praise from the guru himself.
Little under 100 yards receiving last week, big body. I mean, I know Michael Masunas over at Hamilton is the real deal, but I think Jace Patton is right there, with these guys. I got to give the edge to Highland in this one. I really don't want to see Zach Wren lose another tough game, but I think Highland's got too much. I think Highland pulls this thing out.
Okay. Moving right along, let's go to Thunderbird at Greenway.
Not two teams we really talk a lot about, right?
Yeah.
You know anything about either one of these guys?
Oh, boy. I know Greenway's coach, Ed Cook, has been around the Valley, coached in the West Valley, Phoenix Union for years and years. So great guy, good guy, really cares about his kids and his team. But outside of that, don't know a lot about it. I know you have a few kids
I do.
On the team. So
I do. There's two or three guys on defense over there that are special. Milo Apodaca is an outside linebacker for Greenway who gets to the ball very long. He's going to study fire science in college. We're excited for him. He's got some great opportunities. Kevin Johansson, 4.7 GPA. He's got a lot of schools, going to study computer science. That's a little bit, I'm not just the football guy, right, Vince? I know what my guys are studying. I know what schools they're looking at. So we're excited for Kevin. I mean, he really gets things done. Aiden Murphy, 2022 linebacker. They've got Greenway has a very, very solid defense. I don't know offensively with the graduation and loss of Christian Johnson where they're going to really be at this year. I do know this. Thunderbird has a young man named Sean Matthews who can score from anywhere on the field. I mean, he is a deadly weapon for that Thunderbird team. Greenway 1-0 against Mingus Union. Thunderbird 1-0 beat Arcadia.
Wow.
Battle of those Central Phoenix 1-0 teams. I give the nod to Ed Cook. I think he's got a lot of weapons on defense. He knows how to win football games. Greenway should take this one 28-17.
And the score. Wow. Okay.
Why not throw it in there?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So Battle of 5A powerhouses here. We've got the state champion, Sunrise Mountain, heading over to Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Horizon.
Probably, arguably, game of the week.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it's hard to argue with the defending state champion.
Right?
I mean, Steve Decker is the coach over there at Sunrise Mountain. He's a wrestling coach. He's a football coach. He's a great guy. And on the other side, Andy Litton at Horizon. So, I got to give the nod to the visiting team here because they are the defending state champions until they lose.
I mean, last year we watched Sunrise Mountain. I had college coaches at the Sunrise Mountain championship game, and they said at one point in time they ran 30-something plays maybe and didn't have to throw the ball.
Wow.
I mean, just a powerful, they remind me of the old 1990 New York Giants with O.J. Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Solid, grinding out first downs, 3 yards at a clip and playing solid defense. But here's the monkey wrench that Sunrise Mountain's thrown into this thing. They got a quarterback, 6'5", 200 pounds, named Hunter Croningold. Crony threw for 300 yards last week, getting a lot of Division I looks. This kid is the real deal. Now you take a Division I caliber quarterback and plug him into a Coach Decker masterful defense and run game. This is a special team. They have the best kicker and punter in the league, in the state, in Easton Black. 60-yard range, 45-plus yard punt. Sunrise Mountain to me is going to be, and I do not have a very close relationship with Sunrise Mountain. I do have, like I said, a couple of those key players on the team. This is a great football team. This is going to be a tough team to beat. On the flip side, Horizon and the two quarterbacks that they have over there in Drew Boxwell and Skylar Partridge are extremely dangerous, extremely deadly. They have one of the best cover corners / rangy safeties. This kid is just a defensive back at the next level, Ethan Tinsley. So there are some high quality, top level college athletes on this Horizon team. I think Litton's doing a great job. You got Santiago over there. So there's a really, really deep matchup of future college athletes, Vince, in this one. I, however, think Sunrise Mountain does check all the boxes and is probably going to win this one, I think, convincingly. Okay.
Going back to 6A here, we got a battle of Northwest Valley versus East Valley. Valley Vista at Mountain View.
2 first-year coaches, I think, right, Vince?
I believe so.
Yeah, so year 1 for Derek Wallstrom at Valley Vista, replacing Seacoch. And Jermaine comes in for Mountain View. So always love first-year coach battles. Where is that game? Is that that's at
it's Mountain at Mountain View. And I believe Coach Wallstrom, he was the head coach at Estrella Foothills.
Yep, he was at Foothills, right? Okay. And then left there, took the job at Valley Vista. And I'm very, I know Coach Wallstrom personally. I knew when he was at Verado, then he went to Foothills. Now he's at Valley Vista. He's a West Valley guy. He, the best way to describe him is he solidifies the unity of a team. He might not be the guy that goes out there and puts together a 10-0 year, but your players are taken care of. You've got great leadership, great mentorship. Has very strong Christian faith. Valley Vista, he came in there and really tried to build that rapport with these guys. And it's good, and I'm thankful for them. On the flip side, you've got, a coach who is a football guy, and played at the highest levels and has players that are going to be playing at the highest levels. So quarterback Willie Roberts, a little undersized, but big heart, big arm. I mean, he is a stud. And there's 3 offensive linemen over at Mountain View, Vince. Candielli, Frisch, and Trost at center. These 3 guys might be the best 1-2-3 punch in the Valley.
Wow.
So I think Mountain View has everything it needs to go on a successful 8-2, 9-1 year. Flip side, Jaden Lay is one of the best interior offensive linemen in the state over for Valley Vista. And then there's a 22, 23, and 24. So they're very balanced. I'm going to just real quick. Reeve Peterson is a 22 offensive lineman monster, 6'4", 300-pound type guy. 2023 wide receiver Blaze Nelson is one of the most underrated prospects in the state. And then they have a 2024 athlete, I like to call him, running back / wide receiver, DZ, Damian Zuniga. I always botch names up. I should know that one, but I botch them up. I still call you D'Alicio. So
yeah, well, I want to call you Perrone, but
there you go. I get that too. But
okay.
In all seriousness, very excited to see how Valley Vista didn't play last week. They had an extra week to prepare for this one, but Coach Jermaine and Coach Josh Roberts does an amazing job over there. I think Mountain View is going to have too much firepower for this one. I think Willie Roberts is firing all cylinders. Mm-hmm. Candielli, Frisch, Trost are blocking so well. This is going to be a 2-0 start for Mesa Mountain View in the Toros.
Wow. Okay, last but not least, your game of the week here, Casa Grande at Peoria.
Okay, let me put these papers away. You know a little bit about these programs too, especially Casa Grande. You start.
Well, I like, again, I'm all about it. Obviously the kids play the game, but I'm all about the guys that put the kids out there. And I really respect these two coaches. Coach Jake Barrow, he is a great guy. He's built something really nice out there. He's got an incredible talent pool now. Can't always say that he did, but there's something about him that attracts the kids to come out and sweat and grind. So he does some really good things out there. And then, of course, Coach Will Babb out at Peoria, he's a good guy, and he's very unconventional in that, you get a lot of coaches that are PE teachers, social studies teachers. This guy's a counselor. Yeah. And that's what coaches are now. They're counselors, and he's been doing this for a long time. He's born and bred. He came up through Peoria, so he's all about the Peoria Panthers. So this one's going to be a toss-up for me. It's going to be really very difficult to pick, but Coach Babb's team last week beat Canyon View pretty convincingly. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be one of those games for me that's just too difficult to call.
I think you hit this one on the head, Vince. I think these are two, honestly, of the best overall high school football coaches in the state. I think you really nailed that. Jake Barrow built this program, and it is just firing on all cylinders. Angel Flores, they have such a great coach-player relationship, but kind of like a father-son relationship, as he does with all of his players. I speak to both coaches probably 3-4 times a week. Both guys want this game more than I could probably tell. And I think this is going to be an excellent football game. I think that Casa Grande, has the obvious weapons in RJ Keaton, Angel Flores, Demetrius. Azoteca is a defensive back with 5 or 6 Division I offers. A couple young men, of course, that are escaping my mind because I'm a little bit. Oh, Kevin White. A 4.9, 5.0 valedictorian DB for Casa Grande. We know that Casa Grande's going to be one of those 9-1, 10-0 caliber teams. I think one of the things that impressed me the most about Casa Grande, 10 guys get to the ball on defense. Flip side, Will Babb is a 2 + 2 = 4 guy, and I love that. There's no smoke and mirrors. What he says is the truth. You can take it to the bank. Josh Seacox joins this staff, the former Valley Vista coach. So they are extremely well coached in so many aspects and in so many areas. But I got to see this young man, Jake Price, this week, Vince. And I'm going to tell you what. You want to see a special football player, 6'4", 235 pounds, a +5 wingspan, defensive end / tight end. Arguably, and this is what's broken in the recruiting game, Vince, I want to point this out. Young man that's got no offers right now and 76 followers on Twitter. So wow. I'm really excited to change that because he's probably a top 15 prospect in the state of Arizona. So he's a young man that we're excited to see what he does. But there's a couple other guys over there. I call him the experience. Jeremiah Gossett. He calls it the Jeremiah Gossett experience. 2022 DB, lockdown guy, all over the field. And Isaac Moreno at wide receiver is, Coach Babb tells me, one of the top 5 fastest players, he believes, in the state of Arizona. Wow. Sprinkle all that in, and the handing off the ball to Cameron Mack, the Peoria powerful running back with those hogs up front that they always have. We are going to be in for the game of the week. I believe I will be there. I will be on the field. Just going to be tough to cheer because I have both teams and I love both coaches. But I'm just going to cheer for a great game. Everybody gets out of there safe. And do I want to put myself into a position and pick? I can't. I can't pick a winner of this one, Vince. I really can't. I think this is a coin flip. And I think it's just going to be, and whoever wins this one, congratulations. But I think whoever loses this one is going to put up a hell of a fight. So yeah. I'm just thankful that we get to cover these games and these opportunities. Tell everybody how they can tune into the Varsity Sports Show Saturday mornings, please. Saturday mornings, 9 to 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. This week, we'll be headed back out to Roswell, New Mexico to broadcast the New Mexico Military Broncos hosting the Maricopa Mustangs of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be somewhere along the road doing the show Saturday. So it'll be a lot of fun. You were out there last week in the
was out there rain, last week. Got another one this week, and it's it was so much fun. I got to go back. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We actually, Vince, in all seriousness, I watched the coverage of the New Mexico military game versus Papago. You guys did an amazing job covering that. And Thursday night football, everybody should be tuned in. We do a halftime report. Hey, players that are listening, if you want us to talk about you on the halftime show of the Thursday night football game, send me a DM, reach out to Vince. Let's go over your stuff. You don't have to just be one of my guys. If you want to come on and be talked about on the halftime of the Thursday night football, reach out to us. Hey, we love spreading the love, right?
That's right. That's what it's all about.
For Vince
promoting
Delisio,
Arizona football.
Absolutely. For Vince Delisio and the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Coach Perrone at My Recruits. Enjoy this week's football, and we will catch you next week. Thank you.